Loading application data.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Nur Fatin Najwa binti Sajali with metric number 213942, and today I will be reviewing a book with a title The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. So firstly, about the summary. There are 7 habits mentioned, which is the first, proactive; second, begin with the end in mind; third, put first thing first; fourth, think win-win; fifth, seek first to understand then to be understood; sixth, synergize; and lastly, 7, sharpen the sword. So in this summary, I would like to give the introduction, and lastly I will talk about the first habit, which is be proactive, and the fifth habit, which is seek first to understand then to be understood. Basically, the introduction in this book, the author mentioned about the paradigms as maps. So in our head, there are 2 kinds of paradigms, which is the first one, the maps of the way things are, which is realities, and second, the maps of the way things should be, which means values. So paradigm shift move us from seeing another things to another things. So firstly, about the first habits, which is to be proactive. In this world, there are 2 kinds of people, which is firstly the reactive people, and second, the proactive people. So what is reactive people means? Reactive people is people who are influenced by their emotions. They always blame their surroundings for what had happened to them. So it makes them feeling victimized. They always blame other people, while it actually there are things that we cannot change, that shouldn't be in our concern, because it is the way things are. So it is a whole lot different compared to those who are proactive. Proactive people are people then who does not affected by feelings, but they are the one who make feelings. So they focus more on things that influence, they are under their influence, instead of something they are not under their influence. So when it is under their influence, they know they can make it happen, they know they can change it, and it is possible, compared to stressing out about things that we cannot even change it. So we should be a proactive people compared to a reactive people, because the way we see problem is the problem itself. We need to change our perspective, because not all problems can be changed. Instead, it is our perspective, our way of seeing things. Next, which is seek first to understand then to be understood. So this means this stress out about the empathetic listening. So empathetic is a different thing compared to sympathy. Empathetic listening is we listen in the intent to understand, not to the intent to reply, because most of the people in this world, when they listen to someone else's story, they judge it, because they focus more on thinking about what to reply to that person. So they see from their own perspective. So it is wrong. Instead, we should see from that person's perspective. We should understand their shoes, then we can comment about it, then we can give suggestion. That is how the way it should be. So that is some of the things that I learned from this book. It is the summary. Honestly, when I read it, I feel highly relatable, because I feel of being understood. It really relates to my own life, to my own way of thinking, and I honestly almost cried. This is true. So how it affects me, I started to reconsider my own way of thinking, my own way of seeing things, and I am on the way of changing my perspective of seeing things. The thing that I like about this book is it is really well explained throughout all the pages, throughout all the chapter. It really well explained. I understand the message that it wanted to convey to others, and they are also graphic poster, which makes it a whole lot more interesting. But what I dislike about this book is it mentioned about sports, about work, which from my perspective, it doesn't suit to everyone. Favorite quote is, "It's not what happened to us, but our response to what happened that hurt us. Our character, our basic identity does not have to be hurt at all." I will recommend this book to those who have married, to students in university, means 18 years and above. Because I actually have read it when I was a kid, but I stopped it halfway, which is when I was in high school, because I don't really understand what it means when it mentions about sports and so on. But now when I read it, I understand, because yeah, it is more relatable, even because of our way of thinking too. So my rating is 4.5 out of 5, because I honestly really enjoy reading it. Thank you for making this program.